Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kevin Hu, and today I'm going to teach you how to play the piano like a rock star. For those who don't know, I'm a film and TV composer working in Los Angeles and Singapore. You may have also come across some of my music at Target back in the 2000s. I want to share with you 5 simple tips on how to record your piano parts for a pop or rock song, or even a piece by a singer-songwriter. We will be using the C major scale because, well, it's all white keys and it's fairly simple. Our chord progression starts off with C major, that's our root chord or the 1 chord. F major, that's the 4th chord. A minor, that's the 6th chord. And we come back down to the 4th chord, F major. Let's talk about the left hand first. In this particular genre, the left hand has only one function, and that is to keep time and to play the root note and sometimes the 5th note of each chord. For instance, C major, take away the E and you play C in octaves and a G sometimes. For F major, you do the same thing, take away the A and you just play F and C, the root note in octaves, and C, the 5th note added in. Same thing with A minor. You can play A and E 1 octave down with the root A in octaves. And back to F major. The left hand progression would sound like this. Because your left hand is keeping time, you can think of your pinky as the kick drum, or also called the bass drum of the drum set, and your thumb as a snare drum. For a simple drum pattern, your left hand can sound something like this. At the pedal, you will also notice that the thumb is actually counting out the beats as well. Add the 5th note of each chord every once in a while. In general, if you are playing with a bassist, then you can play less with your left hand. If you are playing without a bassist, then feel free to play a little bit more. Let's talk about the right hand. There are many different ways to play, but we will concentrate on 5 ways today. The first way is simply playing the chords without the 3rd note, so just the root note and the 5th note, making it a power chord. Mimicking drum parts with your left hand, you can also play these chords in open chords or inversions. For those who have not checked out that tutorial, you can look for the video link in the description below. You can also just play whole notes for each chord. The second way is to play arpeggios on your right hand. Now, arpeggios is a fancy way of saying you're playing the notes of each chord one by one, either in an ascending form or a descending form. So for instance, in C major, we have C, E, G. In our chord progression, we can play it like this: C, G, E, A, C, F, A, E, C, A, C, F. I'm playing the chords on the right hand, but I'm just playing the notes one at a time. In this instance, the F is played on the top rather than the bottom. Feel free to change the order of the notes in each chord. How about we go up one octave? The third way is to play a repeating pattern on your right hand. Just like the arpeggios in the previous way, there are many patterns that you can play. I'm going to focus on two patterns that work really well for the genre that we are exploring today. Let's look at all the chords in C major scale. We have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C major. The two strongest notes in C major scale is C and G. C being the root note and G being the fifth. Let's create a pattern with C and G and play it against all the chords in C major scale. That sounds good. Let's try putting the G on top this time. That works too. The second pattern we can play is using C and E, the root note, and the third. It works with just about all the chords except for one. You'll hear it. This E clashes with a chord. It's much better to play F, which is part of the diminished chord. B, D, F. The C note doesn't sound out of place because it is the root note of the C major scale. Let's mix it up. Feel free to try different notes when you create your patterns, but generally the root note, the fifth note, and the third note should work well in this genre. Let's try out one of these patterns with our chord progression. Feel free to play around with your patterns. If it sounds good to your ears, it should work. The fourth way is to consider playing a simplified melody of the main vocal line, or you can come up with a counter melody or doubling up a melody that is being sung by the backing vocals or even a prominent guitar line. For instance, imagine I'm playing the same melody line as the background vocals here. It may not have to be exactly the same line as a backing vocals or guitar line, but that's okay. Your left hand is still keeping time, especially the thumb, counting out each beat. Listen to it one more time. Doubling up on any kind of counter melody is very powerful because it focuses the listener's attention to a melody line that's memorable. The final method is to play chords in octaves or power chords using your right hand. We play these chords in an eighth note pattern or a quaver pattern. Now, a power chord is a chord that only comprises of the root note and the fifth note. And we double up the root note with an octave. When you play it in a lower register, omit the fifth note. On the right hand, play root, fifth, and root note in eighth note patterns. Let's do the same with F major. Omit the third, play it one octave lower. For the right hand, let's keep the C as the top note here and double up the C one octave below. Again, top note, C, and doubling it up. So now we have C major, F major. For A minor, we will play it this way, with root and fifth note of the A minor chord, like this. Or you can keep the top note C intact for A minor as well. C on top, C is still on top, keeping C on top here, and we double up the C with E, the fifth note as well. And that's it. It is always nice to keep a top note intact, whether it's the fifth note or root note or the third note. You will notice that some of these ideas can be mix and match as well. For example, the method of doing patterns can be combined with power chords. Nothing is set to stone. All you need is to be willing to try different ways and come up with something of your own. Let's put all these concepts together. Follow the link in the description to download the PDF as well as the track. Try them out yourself. Let's go. Thank you once again for watching my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.